Hey.
Hey.
Okay, today we're going to be talking about self-limiting beliefs and other crazy things that gurus say to themselves in the mirror.
You can do anything. You can make $1 million.
I've got $1 million in mind. Okay, so what we want to talk about and kind of clarify is a lot of these gurus, they say these crazy things like, they sit in front of the mirror and they say, people like me, I'm beautiful, I can do anything I want to, and they sound like crazy people.
Even if they are right, it still sounds kind of crazy.
Yeah, it still seems kind of crazy because they're talking to themselves. And that's just the general idea of self-talk, this thing they call self-talk, positive self-talk. That's kind of like...
You got to say something to sell a book, I guess. But
yeah.
But what's really the issue with self-talk? What's the actual problem? It's not that those things... We're not saying those things don't work, because they do. But why?
Yeah, they obviously work because some people the people that are doing them or whatever are seeing change. They're seeing change in themselves. One of our favorite people in the world, Zig Ziglar, he did a lot of the self-talk type stuff, and he was probably one of the guys to
One of the earlier guys talking about that stuff. Yeah, for sure.
And he's a Christian, so that means he's got to be right. No, which means that it's not just like crazy humanist ideas, but it's
not really like a New Age philosophy.
It's everybody, every religion, every walk of life has their own different types of things.
Different
and they're not,
take on the same concept.
Yeah.
So what is it? What's actually at stake in this self-talk arena? I would venture to say that it is probably getting rid of the negative self-talk, right? Wouldn't you?
I think that's a big part of it. I do think there is a part of the positive stuff, but let's talk about the negative stuff because I think that's the easiest thing to understand. It's the thing that really made my light bulbs go on and be like, oh, okay, I get that. Henry Ford has this saying where if you believe you can, or if you believe you can't, you're right. And I'm like, well, I don't know about that. That sounds kind of crazy. Like, I believe I can sing in opera. I don't think that's true.
I don't believe you can.
I don't know that I'll ever be true. However, it makes sense that if I don't believe I can sing the opera,
then you're definitely never going to do it.
Yeah, I'm not going to try. I'm not even going to go to practice or anything. I won't invest any time in it.
You have a 0% chance of singing in the opera.
If I don't believe in it and I don't...
Right.
Yeah.
But if you believe you could, even though the reality was that you couldn't, you would at least give it a shot, wouldn't you? So, say you could do it. Physically, your body was capable of doing it. But your mind said, I'm not going to be able to do that. Well, you still have 0% chance of ever being successful doing that.
Yeah.
However, if your body can, and then your mindset is that you can, now what's your chance of being able to do it?
Yeah, it's greatly increased. So winning an Olympic medal, yeah, there's going to be a lot of people competing with you and stuff. But if you just don't believe in yourself, you're never going to get there.
That's right.
So, how does that translate into the rest of our lives? Well, there's a lot of things that we want to do. Maybe we want to do it, but the want to do something, I like that way I say want. Anyway, that's not enough to get you where you want to go. So you have to have a lot more different things come into practice before you can actually get where you want to go. And I think this sometimes is, for creating wealth or getting to the lifestyle you want, or just, in general, these types of things.
Maybe it's just getting your YouTube channel past 1,000 subscribers.
There's a lot of people that don't think they can get 1,000 subscribers and still get 1,000 subscribers. So we're not saying definitely, well, if you don't believe something, it will never happen. That does still happen.
Luck still plays a part.
Yeah,
sometimes.
There's luck. There's the whole law of the fact that if you're doing something and you're in the right place, those things probably will happen.
Right.
So there's all that stuff. But you guys kind of get the idea that if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to try as hard.
Right. And a lot of the problem is, it's not that we sit around thinking, I can't do that. But it's subconscious. It's deep down we think, well, I'm not going to be able to do that. So that's kind of where these guru guys talking in the mirror, that's where this stuff comes into play, because a lot of those things are embedded in your subconscious. You don't even realize that is a limiting belief. So when these guys talk about standing in front of the mirror and saying this thing to yourself, what's going on is you're defeating that subconscious negative mindset and replacing it with a positive one. Little by little. It's like water eroding something.
Yeah, you're brainwashing yourself.
Right.
Now,
that's a good word for it.
If you think of brainwashing in traditional sense, it's like, oh, you're being programmed to do things that you don't want to do. But really, if you think about it in the verb, like what does the actual words mean? The vocabulary of it is you're washing your brain. You're getting your brain to a different state. And if you're currently telling yourself, I'm dumb, I'm not capable, you've brainwashed yourself to believe those things. So there's nothing wrong with brainwashing yourself to believe something a little more positive about yourself.
Yeah, positive thing. Exactly.
So, in this case, go ahead and brainwash yourself.
Yeah.
It'll be good for you.
So maybe it is a good idea to say those things to yourself in the mirror. Maybe even if you do look crazy, just don't do it in front of other people, maybe.
Yeah.
But the real thing is figuring out what is behind your limiting belief. Remember, that's what this is talking about, is you're placing these limits on yourself. And what's behind that? Where did that come from? How can we root that out? And maybe saying these things to yourself in the mirror isn't going to fix those things. Maybe something else has to.
Yeah, that's a really good point, is that, like, if there is something bigger behind this, you need to find and identify that, so that when you are telling yourself something positive, you can actually believe what you're saying to yourself. Not believing what you're saying, I mean, that's enough to really neutralize those ideas.
Exactly.
If you don't believe in what you're saying.
No matter how many mirrors you say them into.
I used to tell myself that I was likable to like 25 different mirrors in a day, and it just didn't
Still hasn't worked.
Yeah. But in seriousness, so we want to talk about this more often. I think this was a big change for my life, to just kind of believe in myself. And so we want to talk about this more on our channel. We're actually making a second video to accompany this one. We're going to be talking about if and because and how they work against each other. So we'll be talking about in the next video on how if you can just change yourself from saying if to because, and how well that can help you. So that will be in the next video. But let us know what you think about this topic.
Big effects often come from small changes implemented consistently over time. So that's how you defeat these things. Just start to tell yourself you can do it. You can be what you want to be. You can do what you want to do.
Yeah, I guess one last thing before we close. Who's telling you the opposite of what you want to do? Identify that as well. Because do you believe them? Maybe you tell yourself, I'm not going to let that person get to me, but are you telling yourself the same things that they're telling you? Something to think about. Okay, thanks for watching this video, guys. We love you. See you in the next video, which is starting soon.